Mr. Aditya. Welcome to this session of Uncovering India. And I also welcome your other colleagues from KKKP. And uh, this is a very difficult time that we are living in. And considering that this COVID outbreak has hit everybody rather, but worst affected are the people in the lowest strata of the society. And since you work with the people from the lowest strata of the society, namely how do you see the impact of COVID-19 first lockdown of last year, and 1 year again later we have entered in another lockdown with more severity of COVID. How do you assess the damage that COVID has done to the lives of the rag pickers?
Thank you so much, Ashwath. What you were saying is quite correct. In fact, COVID has, in my opinion, affected everyone at some level, but it has affected everyone disproportionately. So people like informal workers and especially wage pickers or rag pickers, as you call them, have been affected tremendously. And the effect is not just limited to their incomes per se, but also goes into their personal lives in terms of say the education of their children, in terms of the health of their family members, and so on. So just to give a short overview to begin with, so our organization KKPKP is a trade union of wage pickers, which was formed in '93, and then over the course of time in 2008, a cooperative called Swachh was also registered, which has a MOU with the Pune Municipal Corporation to collect door-to-door waste from citizens. So the Swachh waste pickers, which are 3,500 in number, um, serve around 8,70,000 households across the city. And the KKPKP waste pickers, so just to give you a broad sense of the different types of waste pickers based on their nature of work. So one is the door-to-door collectors, that is Swachh waste pickers we call them, and the others are say itinerant waste pickers who are who roam the streets, pick up plastic, paper, metal, and so on, whatever they find has recyclable value. That there are some waste pickers who work at the landfill, at the depots. So this is just one another category. So and there are some bangarwalas, like small traders who just collect say paper, raddi, plastics, and so on. COVID. So in the first wave of in the first lockdown last year, um, the very strict lockdown in the month of March, April, waste pickers income. So waste pickers who are not integrated door-to-door collection were finding it very difficult to even venture out of the streets and collect waste and so on. So their income was significantly affected. However, the Swachh waste pickers have had a slightly different impact, because Swachh waste pickers uh, cannot work from home. In fact, no waste picker can work from home throughout the lockdown, because their income depends on whatever they collect daily. So the Swachh waste pickers have been serving the citizens throughout the course of this lockdown, be it the first lockdown, second one, or any other subsequent lockdowns that we've had. So one significant issue or challenge that waste pickers face, I'll just point out three or four major challenges. So one is the transport thing. So with respect to travel, since in the lockdown the public transport facilities are not functioning as the way they used to, waste pickers who reside in slums do travel to a few kilometers far away to societies where they collect waste. So they have not been able to travel using bus transports or rickshaws are still open right now, but a lot of them use bus transport. So that they have not managed to do, and for that, to just cope up with that, waste pickers have been relying on say private two-wheelers transport, or some have even rented out places close to the societies that they service. So then they have to bear an additional rent, so that they only, because they are able to uh, collect waste from those societies. So that's one significant challenge. Another is the direct impact on the income of waste pickers. So there are two areas in which waste pickers have an income. So one is the income from, so I'm talking about the Swachh waste pickers now. Swachh waste pickers have an income from the user fee, which they collect from citizens of Pune. So based on the areas, waste pickers earn, say, a user fee from every household, could be anything about say 30 rupees or 40 rupees a month to 200, 300 rupees a month per household, depending on the location again. So in many cases, the citizens have gone back to their own native places, and many citizens have just not managed to pay the user fees, and waste pickers still do collect waste from their household, but are in the hope of collecting, or at least being paid what they deserve, or what their regular user fees is. Apart from that, another significant part of their income, say with a 30% chunk of the income of waste pickers, is from the sale of recyclables. The sale of recyclables has also gone down significantly, because commercial establishments are shut, because hotels are shut, because big companies are shut. So waste pickers are not getting enough uh, plastic, paper, glass, metal, and so on. So, and the thing is that recyclable shops, the scrap shops, which are informal shops, they have also not been functioning. Many cases, scrap shops have been shut. So just it's really difficult for waste pickers to even go access those shops to sell their recyclables and to earn their daily wage from that. So just to give you a rough uh, statistics, so we did a recent survey with around 221 waste pickers. It was a rapid survey just to get a sense of how different waste pickers have been affected. So about 25% of waste pickers uh, have experienced an income dip of about 60% from the sale of recyclable, and similarly from the user fee, around 30% of waste pickers have seen a dip of about 50% in their user fees. So these are some of the challenges. Apart from this, waste pickers in the first lockdown, the Pune Municipal Corporation had set up a system to collect waste from COVID infected patients, or from patients who are quarantining in house. Uh, so then waste pickers were not exposed to so much of infection. But in the second lockdown, the corporation has not had any such system as of now. And there are a high number of cases. So waste pickers are in Swatch are exposed to a huge risk of infection, and there have been cases around 114 waste pickers have been in home quarantine. We have lost 13 waste pickers to COVID themselves, and also some more have been, have many have lost their family members. So this is like a very direct impact on their health, on the health of their families. In many cases, waste pickers are women, and they are the sole earning members of their family, because in their family, say their husband would be a driver, a tempo driver, or say someone who works in other waste related contracts, or so on. And many of those have just lost their livelihood, and waste pickers are helping them sort of manage, or sort of running their household by their sole income.
So, which means that the COVID second wave has acted as a double whammy for the rag pickers, considering that on one hand they are losing their livelihoods, on the other hand they are losing their lives, or their lives of their near ones. So that must be
Yes,
also taking toll on their
absolutely.
mental health.
Absolutely true. So in fact, so we as an organization, as the union, have a helpline for waste pickers, which we have been running for the last 3 or 4 years. And so when waste pickers call on the helpline, they call to register different types of cases, different types of complaints, grievances that they have. So we have been getting a lot of calls where waste pickers are just saying that they do not know what to do, because when will the schools reopen, or when will life return to normalcy, if at all. So, what you're saying is absolutely correct. The impact on their psychosocial being or mental health is not visible as such, but it is very deep, and it's going to stay for a while. In some cases, the children have also, that we have managed to interact with, have been saying that, we just don't know when we'll be able to play, because in slums there are no spaces to play. The schools were the only places where they could just go and at least meet their friends. The youth, which is say higher the students who are doing higher education, they have not had any college life. Many ways because do not have access to smartphones. So there's been a complete disconnect from the tech or the digital part of education. And all these things are sort of gradually, or say exponentially, now having an impact on the mental health as well.
In India in general, we have taken some time to identify who the real, frontline workers are. Like what kind of professions come under this label of frontline workers. And usually we just look at medical staff, doctors, police force, these people as frontline workers. But people like waste pickers, they if they are not considered as frontline, then we are making a grave mistake, because uh, they are the ones who are actually going out every day and facilitating the most important, one of the most important tasks right now, which is keeping our cities and keeping our households clean. Because if the waste is not collected every day, then the chances of spreading the virus even further are great. So uh, I think first we need to understand that waste pickers are also the corona warriors, and they are also frontline workers. Uh, Now, what's happening in Pune is that there is a very there's a lack of support, I would say, uh, especially to waste pickers uh, who are Swachh members, who are the members of our cooperative from the local administration, and so there's a lack of support from their end. So for the last 1 year, since the lockdown began, uh, the cooperative by itself has raised a lot of funds and a lot of PP kits, and all kinds of ration and everything for the speakers. Um, Now, if we look at the the source of income that waste pickers have is through collection. So how Swatch works is based on user fees. So if that collection stops, then there is no income. So there were a lot of COVID patients all across the city, and you know, people used to think that because waste pickers work in waste, and because they handle waste from all sorts of people, the chances of getting the virus spread is more because of them. But that's not really true. Uh, so so they, like, so they are sometimes they're asked to not to come to work, or uh, so that sort of creates a problem, a hindrance to make money. And during lockdown, and during this situation, where already money is a or income is a very difficult part of life, it's getting difficult for them. So to have a regular income, though they did not get regular income, though they had difficulties in coming to work, though they had difficulties in collecting waste, uh, they still have not doing their work. So they're truly frontline workers. Uh, you know, just like how doctors and other frontline is working almost selflessly and throughout the hours. So waste pickers have also doing that, and they are also going through the similar kind of difficulties, and they risk their life to, you know. So one day you might not know that there is a patient, there is someone who is who's positive with COVID, and you have to go, and like, you have no chance to know how, if someone is COVID positive or not, and you still go there and collect their waste. So that kind of risk they are taking every day, but not stopping their work.
So considering this situation that is prevailing, so what kind of support,
Yeah.
since there is no support coming from the government, what kind of support institutions like yours is providing to these people to help them mitigate the losses that they are facing?
Yes. So for the, I think, almost for a year now, we have been providing them with monthly ration. Initially, we also provided them direct cash that was transferred to their accounts. Then we are also providing them each month. We are providing them uh, PPE kits, which had like soaps, sanitizers, masks, gloves, that will make them comfortable while working. That will make them feel some kind of safety while working. So that's happening. Then we are also very initially we used to also we had given them food packets, um, because mostly these people used to eat outside while they were at work, and as all the small restaurants, tapris were closed, there was no other option. So we also provided them food packets in the beginning. And as the first wave sort of receded, we we started providing just the PPE kits. And but again in the second wave now we are again raising funds to transfer some cash to them where where a waste picker is is not getting as much income as she used to get before the pandemic.
So what about the health aspect? Those who are facing, those who are having COVID infections, or family members having COVID
Yes.
infections, or families which have members who have lost their family members, and their only earning member. So are you providing such people with any medical aid, assistance, rehabilitating the members of the houses where the only earning member associated with the organization has passed away? And also, what about the education of these children, where there's so much of emphasis on online classes, and these children who don't have access to internet or smartphones? So what are you doing with this kind of people?
Uh, for the waste pickers, so we have insurance for all our waste pickers, and the waste pickers who have passed away due to COVID, we have managed to get claims from LIC for six of them so far for their families, and the rest of the claims are in process. This is in terms of the direct cash support uh, for waste pickers. Apart from that, we have also in the past year managed to reimburse medical expenses of waste pickers. So the waste pickers who have chronic illness, who do not, or sorry, who do not have an option to sort of stop medication at any point in their life, and so we just sort of raised funds for that, and there were around 204 to 212 waste pickers who we managed to support by covering their medical expenses, which were on an average for about 2,000 to 3,000 per month for each waste picker. So that was there. Apart from that, we are also tying up with generic medical medicine stores and near the respective slums. And through our help desk, we managed to sort of circulate or provide that information. Also, our field workers are regularly on field, so that connect is there. So the children of waste pickers, now that you talked about education, so the whole scenario or the whole idea of education has so rapidly changed in the last 1 year that all of us in fact are still trying to grapple with what is going to happen or what is even happening. Even the governments do not have accurate data on, say, how many students have internet connections, how many students have access to smartphones, or how many have been in fact uh, adopted in this digital learning scenario. And it's even lower for waste pickers, because waste pickers, so say if there's one smartphone in the family, it's usually shared between two or three children, and the two or three children have classes on the same time, so it's really difficult. And one of the waste speakers that I interacted with a few days uh, back, called Shankar, so he had called just to say that he has a daughter in class 10th, and his son is in class 8, and both of them have classes at the same time. And he says that I find it so difficult to take the phone away from my son and give it to my daughter only because she's in 10th, and I somehow make that priority myself, that okay, 10th is an important step, but inside I know it's so unfair and so difficult because he wants all his children to have equal and fair access. So we did try and provide internet recharge for around 163 students in the first lockdown. We are also sort of now in the process of conducting surveys to find out how many of them have access to smartphones and how many of them have even managed to attend at least one or two online classes at all, and for how long. So this process is ongoing, and based on this, we'll again sort of come up with some support, some intervention to support their educational needs.
Considering that you had said rack pickers, these waste workers are not considered as frontline workers, and hence they don't get the necessary benefits that are accorded to the frontline workers.
I mean,
Uh,
uh, I mean, they're officially considered as frontline workers. I'm saying like the perception is such that we have not really given importance to the kind of work they do, and it's something like actually very really important work that through their work we are trying to conserve the environment, and we are trying to work towards sustainable living.
What is the remedy to this problem that these people are facing? What are your expectations from the administration, from the community as a whole?
So a couple of things that I think are important, or something that we would like everyone to pay heed to, pay attention to, is one thing is that the citizens, all the citizens that have waste pickers come into their door and collect waste. Wrapping your sanitary waste is one thing, and just being mindful of the basic practices of how much exposure, or that to just reduce the chances of infection to the waste picker that comes in, to just sort of be mindful of your own waste, and also to be regular in, say, paying the user fees to the waste pickers. We have a fundraiser which we have been running, and the idea of the fundraiser is to sort of support the waste pickers in largely three aspects. One is to be able to provide them cash transfers, direct cash transfers to all the waste pickers, which are around 7,500 to 8,000 waste pickers. The cash transfers would help them to prioritize what rations do they want to buy, what is it that their family needs the most. So that is one important appeal that we have to all the citizens. Apart from this, the funds will also be utilized to support waste pickers in terms of PPE kits, which is gloves, masks, soaps, and sanitizers every month for at least a year, starting now, because we don't see the pandemic going away anytime soon. And apart from this, we are also trying to get our waste pickers vaccinated, because all the waste pickers, as you might know, have been integrated, or the names have been submitted to the Pune Municipal Corporation or the local administration, and the vaccination drives are ongoing. So we have around 2,000 waste pickers who have been vaccinated with their first dose, and about 50 to 100 of them fully vaccinated. And what is happening is the waste pickers who do have to stand in the queues for a long time, they end up missing out on a days of work, and also with some side effects, some fever and some body pains, they also might need a rest for another day or so. So then we are trying to compensate the waste pickers with some small cash transfer, which is say around 500 rupees for 2 shots. So this would just sort of help them to take adequate rest for a day at least, and then to be able to get back to work the next day. Right now, we are also looking at say support in terms of devices, smartphone support in terms of, say, helping the waste pickers at least access some of the things that might help their children to be integrated in the formal education space.
Thank you for your valuable time and the information that you shared with me. I'm sure when the message goes out in the public, it will create some internal churnings and prompt people to rethink their behavioral pattern and lifestyle. And we hope and we wish all the best to you and your team for the efforts that you are taking for alleviating the lives of these rack pickers. And thank you and stay safe.